Անցնում էի ես երկելով, ու շաղ տալով մայթեին.
This is a section not of normal classroom lesson, rather from that lesson which is known in the village as long day classes. The word long day reminds the middle-aged persons the Soviet era when there were special schools where the students frequented after school hours, and with the help of the teachers, they were preparing their lessons. They were also fed, and if they so desired, they could sleep there. The younger generation is remembering the long day school hours where the teachers were helping the students to prepare their lessons. What was the purpose of the long day school during the Soviet era? During the Soviet years, when all the members of the family were employed, the long day schools were alleviating the double concerns of the parents. The students were learning at the same time they were remaining under supervision while the parents were working.
The teacher was doing the duty of the parent, preparing the lesson. Yes, it was productive, and that absence for sure leaves negative effects.
After the Soviet era, the existence of the long day schools was an expensive pleasure, and it seemed as if their existence was no longer indispensable. This is Panik village in Shirak region. The school principal tells us that the village is well known with its intelligentsia, its doctors, and that education has always been of primary importance for its inhabitants. In village circumstances, to assure students good education, the parents are obliged to work very hard all day. When they come home exhausted late at night, they are in no state to be concerned with the lesson preparations of the children.
Not all parents have adequate knowledge corresponding to the present requirements. Therefore, they can be weak and limping, and this will have negative effect on the quality of teaching.
Everything started 2 years ago with the initiative of some young people. They were the responsible young adults of Armenian Catholic Youth Association. They decided to help the students of the association who were not doing well at school. In very short time, the effort gave positive results. The project was presented to Father Anton. It was decided that the project be widened to include all the students of the school who needed help in preparing their lessons. Young university students were to help them prepare their lessons.
The number of the students has augmented considerably from the first day. During summer, we created a park, and through games, we attracted the students towards study. 7 young adults are involved. There is cooperation with the school teachers. An incident happened when the students gave wrong information about their homework, and we asked the school to help us, which they did, and thus we now have cooperation, and our responsibles are working with the teachers.
Fundamentally, we are helping with their homework. We ask them about multiplication table, addition, subtraction. We guide them, and they write according to our guidance. Generally, the weaker students are coming to us. There are some who do not know the multiplication table. We are endeavoring to fill that gap.
The teachers who are helping with the lesson preparations are cooperating with the parents and the school teachers. They are discussing the achievements and the shortcomings. They are taking the necessary steps so as to have a more productive outcome. The students themselves are talking about their achievements.
I have been frequenting this program for almost a year. It pleases me because here we are learning through new programs and are learning in greater depth. This program is helping us all.
At the beginning, I came here out of curiosity, to see what's there, to find friends, but I liked it a lot. Instead of staying home and disturbing my parents, I come here. I learn my lessons. The teachers are young and we have a very good friendly relationship. Many of my classmates are here. We are questioning each other. We recount our lessons and thus it stays better in our memory.
First, it is keeping the student off the street. And after all, no matter what, to put it roughly, even if copying, the student will acquire some knowledge. This should be recommended. There is a positive aspect to it.
Seeing the result of the experience in Panik, Father Anton suggested that it be expanded to other schools. Lesson preparation programs started in Arevik and Azadan villages. Later on, it expanded to other Catholic communities. What is interesting is the fact that teachers of the schools showed interest in participating in the program because they understood its importance and its future impact on the student.
As a teacher and living in this village, for sure the echo was positive, because if something is at the service of education, it cannot have negative impact.
There are 20 students in the class. The teacher cannot concentrate on each student. There are students who are able to understand the lesson, but they have difficulty with homework. There is need for the long-hour classes to help explain to students their homework.
Why today the parent is unable to help the student? There are a few reasons. Let us consider the reasons given at school. Today's parent is yesterday's student. In other words, they are students of the 90s, when, because of socio-economic reasons, the lessons were not done properly. One or other subject was taught by non-qualified teachers. Education in some ways was on the secondary plan. We should add on this the changes in the curricula and the subjects taught. Today's school is not that of yesteryear. The parent has to deal with this reality.
The program is complicated. In some places, they are able to help my child. In another area, they cannot. There are many favorable conditions created here. In winter, the heating is very good. People don't have such heating in their homes.
My son is in year 5. He is learning in year 5 what we learned in year 8. The maths of year 5 we studied in year 7. He is very unhappy. The lessons here are helping my son so much that he in turn is helping his younger brother. He is helping his brother with his English homeworks.
Let us point out that in recent years a new tendency has appeared, especially in the village communities. The teachers there started forcing students to come to their place after school hours for paid private tuition. That is, they were inferring that the school hour was not sufficient to the teacher, and often the teacher was not using the time in an optimal way so that the student would cover the rest through private tuition. But as a rule, these private tuition ended up as a help to the student to do the homework. When the parents and students were informed about the free long-day lesson center, they gladly came along. Parents are telling us that from day one they sent their children with great confidence to the long-day lessons because they knew the persons who were carrying out this work. The change that was observed through time in the children's learning convinced them in their views that this program was very timely and really important.
I am so happy with today's homework achievement. I had students who were working passively at home. It seems that the parents were unable to help, but now they come prepared and recite their lesson without faults. My son is learning in year 4. He frequents the lesson preparation classes very gladly. I see a big advancement. At home, he was doing his lessons with great difficulty. The change is very big now. I am very grateful that there is a possibility for such a program. Thanks to our experts who are teaching better than parents do. Here the students feel more obliged to study and he comes with greater zest. If he has done all his homework, he obliges me to check it so that I realize the great work he has done.
The students and their helpers are telling us that there are students who are coming to these lessons without their parents' knowledge or prompting. Seeing the success and advancement of their classmates, they really want to participate.
At the beginning, the students' number were low. When advancement was noticed, they became 34 and then over 40. The students are fully prepared. The university students are helping them. At first, the other classmates were copying from their peers, and seeing the success of their peers, in a couple of weeks many have joined.
Every day the preparation of lessons takes 3 hours. No matter if the student hasn't learned all the subjects, we don't let him go home. There were students who were mixing the letters and the numbers, but now they write well. They are getting better marks. The parents and the teachers are very happy.
Those participating to these lessons are appreciating the fact that those who are teaching them are young. The age difference is not big. They understand each other. They had the same teachers, the same school books, and this is helping them to gladly come to these tuition classes.
When I was not participating to these tuitions, I used to say myself, I will go to school and get 2. Now that I participate, I go to school, I answer my lessons, I get good marks. I don't disturb my mother, saying, come and teach me my lessons.
It is good by the fact that the lessons are prepared by cooperating with peers. It is also helpful by the fact that if questions arise, I too am able to help. We are helping each other.
In some village communities, they especially appreciate the help given in the preparation of foreign language lessons. For many years, English and German were taught. Now they have turned to French. The parent who learned German does not know French and thus cannot help with the lessons of the child. So it is understandable why the French classroom has more numerous students.
My mother doesn't understand French. Here they are helping me. I'm learning well the foreign languages. I'm learning in an excellent way. My marks have improved since my coming here. My teacher is happy and my mother is even happier.
This is a very humanitarian approach, grand work. Because of the village parents' occupation, because of their education level, they were unable to offer to their children what the center is offering through well-prepared persons.
What Father Anton is doing, others wouldn't have done. Our children are our future and we don't want their education be faulty. Therefore, we appreciate that which Father Anton is doing.
The center is doing a great work. The students are our future. If the spiritual and educational formation that the students are receiving now is correct, we will not have problem with sects.
I see such programs indispensable. If the time and the financial situation allow the Armenian Republic, we should return to the long day groups. I see this as indispensable especially to the elementary and lower secondary circles.
The advantages of long day classes is known to the Department of Education also. The government is not forbidding long day classes, but they are not financing it either. The school has to accept the responsibility of including this in their budget, but the budget amount is just enough to cover the essential expenses. As a result, one must wait that someday the schools might have the means of organizing long day classes, but that will be too late. A Mexican businessman, Carlos Slim Alun, has said, "Everybody wants to leave a better world for their children, but I want to leave better children to the world." For sure, education and the attitude towards education have a big role to play in this. To this day, the benefactors of this project are outsiders. Maybe it's time that we should start thinking about it. Let us see how important the education of our children is for us. Our future depends on their education and formation level.